Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Google Gemini updates in this Tech Tuesday video. I told you that today I would be exploring gems in Google Gemini. So what is a gem? If you go over to the left-hand side of Gemini and you click Explore Gems, gems are like pre-made chatbots to do specific things. If you look here, there's already some that are already made, such as a learning coach, a writing editor, chess champ, brainstormer. All of these are already pre-made. However, you can make your own gem. For example, I made a lesson planner gem. Now I'm going to go into edit to show you kind of what it looks like on the back end. On the back end, you give it the name that you want it to have, the instructions that you want it to always follow. You can even add files. So right here from our lesson planner, I could upload like an exemplar lesson for what I want it to look like, or I can add in files from my drive like the lesson plan template, anything like that I would like to upload to be a part of what it uses when it's giving me what I'm asking for. So in this lesson planner template, I wanted to always create lesson plans based on the Texas TEKS, and have the central questions, learning objectives, demonstration of learning, stations, technology integration, and differentiation. And then I just click save. If I want to test it out, I could test it out right here. But let's show you what it looks like when you use a gem. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to ask it to there we go. And of course, spelling doesn't really count. And now it's giving me the lesson plan with the TEK, how many days it would take to do it, depending on the activities and student needs, essential questions, learning objectives, students will be able to. There's my demonstration of learning, my summative assessment. And here is all of the lesson plan. And let's say I want to have it give me more examples. I could always highlight something and say, give me some more examples of this. So I can highlight that, copy it, put it here, and say, give me some strategies for this. And then it'll take, there's some strategies for this section of the lesson. And it gave me all. I could also ask it to regenerate and give me a time limit for it. Or I can go back to the lesson planner itself and say, make sure every lesson is only, say, 50 minutes. And then click update. Now that has updated my gem. And every time I ask a question now, it's going to give me the lesson plan, but it's only going to be 50 minutes long every time. That is how to create a gem. And you can make gems for all types of things. I even made a data helper gem that when given data, it will desegregate the data for me. Okay, so that is gems. Right now we can't share gems. However, Google will be coming out shortly with the ability to share gems with each other. Okay. Next, I wanted to talk to you about Notebook LM. Notebook LM is absolutely amazing. What it is you create your own notebook based on sources that you can pull from your computer, from your drive, links, or even text. Let's say you're teaching your students about author's purpose or something in history like the American Revolution. You can upload all these sources in here, and then Once you have all these sources, it creates a custom chat bot. But what's really cool is this part over here that's called the deep dive conversation. It generates a podcast based on your sources. So for your students who are audio learners, you can download this podcast and attach it and give it to them so that they could listen to it. I'll give you an example of one of these. I created one over our AI tutor management program. And let me make sure that you're going to be able to hear this, hopefully.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. In an age where artificial intelligence is rapidly changing our world, how can educators really equip students?
Equip them not just to use AI, but to truly understand it and navigate it properly.
Here's what's also really cool. Right now it's generating it in English. However, I could go into settings, delete this one after I download it, and then change my output language to Spanish right here, and then generate a podcast that's in Spanish and download that. Then I would just have to delete it, go back to English, and make sure that English was my output language at the end. But you can go back and forth and download as many different languages of this podcast as you would like to. Again, like I said, it's a way to support your audio learners. Not just that, but you can create a study guide. So with all those concepts that you're teaching on, if you have all these sources that you're using, you can create a study guide. It's still generating. Okay. And here is the study guide based on all the things I have in there. And I could copy this and put it in a Google Doc and give it to the students. You could also create a timeline or a briefing doc. All these different things you can create to help your students with those concepts. So that is Notebook LM. If you want to learn more about it, please reach out. I am more than happy to work with you on it. That also, going back to Gemini, make sure you remember Gemini gems to play around with this. And in our next video, I will give you an update about Google Classroom and all the new things that Google has placed in there as well. Thank you for watching.